The first reading of today narrates the encounter between the prophet of God, Isaiah, and the king of Judah, Ahaz. God sent his prophet Isaiah to the king with a message. And during their conversation, the Lord said to the king Ahaz, "Ask me for a sign. Whatever it is, I will oblige you. I will grant it." But Ahaz declined and said, "I will not ask for a sign. I will not put the Lord my God to the test." Now, looking at the reply from King Ahaz, it sounds religious. It sounds humble, perhaps also respectful, perhaps a demonstration of faith and devotion to God. But that is just on the surface. There is something deep about his response. And we can only understand it and understand the first reading of today if we know something about the historical situation at the time. Now, at that time, Ahaz, the king of Judah, was in a very deep problem. His enemies had decided to kill him, to destroy his family, and to take over his kingdom. So he was upset, he was worried, he was troubled. And he must defend his kingdom and his family and also protect his own self. However, his army was little and weak, not strong enough to confront his enemies, and he must still go to war. So based on that, he needed extra help. So what did he then do? He pleaded for help from a powerful nation, Assyria. Indeed, Assyria was a powerful nation with strong military, and their king was also ready to help Ahaz defeat his enemies. However, not without certain conditions and consequences. Assyrians were pagans and corrupt. So going into alliance with them will certainly destroy the religiosity and the faith of the people of God, the people of Judah. But at that time, Ahaz was not interested in protecting the faith, the integrity, or the religious identity of his people. He was more interested in protecting himself and his kingdom. So when God saw what was happening, he sent his prophet Isaiah to Ahaz to tell Ahaz not to be afraid, not to worry, that his enemies will be defeated, his kingdom will be protected, and his family will continue to rule over Jerusalem forever. However, he should not go into alliance with the king of Assyria or trust the king of Assyria. But Ahaz was not convinced. He was stubborn. He felt that it was more practical and safer to trust and walk with the king of Assyria than to trust God and his promises. So that meeting ended without bearing any fruit. That was the end of the first meeting between the king and the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah went back home. After a few days, God sent Isaiah back again to Ahaz to persuade and encourage Ahaz to change his mind and to reconsider his decision, that he shouldn't go on with that alliance. However, to demonstrate to him, Ahaz, his own readiness to fight for him and to guarantee his safety, God then asked him, "Ahaz, ask me for a sign that I will show you indeed that I'm going to do what I have promised you." And Ahaz said, "I'm not going to ask for a sign." And that is where our reading started today. I'm not going to ask for a sign because I've made up my mind. I'm going into alliance with the Assyrians. Even when Ahaz refused to change his mind or to ask for a sign, God still went ahead and communicated a sign to him that a virgin will bear a son and he will call his, and the name will be called Emmanuel. However, even when the sign was clearly communicated to Ahaz, Ahaz decided and refused to change his mind. And indeed, I am wondering, are there people like Ahaz in our community? People, once they have made up their minds, when they have taken a decision, nobody, nothing will ever make them to change their minds or even to review their already taken decision. Often we are afraid to change our minds or to reconsider a decision we have already made. Even when better options are presented to us, clearer evidence are given to us, more attractive opinions are communicated to us, we still refuse to change our minds. There is a popular saying that there are two people that don't change their minds. Number one, the fools. The second, the dead. The fools, because they won't change their minds. The dead, because they can't change their minds. Now, people who find it difficult to change their minds, even when better options are presented, better ideas are communicated, are usually people who believe that they are the smartest people in the room. Nobody is as clever, smart, or intelligent as they are. So, whatever ideas or suggestions you are giving them, they are not as wonderful and good as the ideas they developed by themselves. When Ahaz took decision to go into alliance with the king of Assyria, he believed that he was taking the best decision. Even God's own idea was not that good. Even God's own persuasion couldn't make him to change his mind because he believed he was doing the best of it at the time. People who belong to this class of thoughts, you always hear them say things like, I have made up my mind. I'm going to do it in my own way, no matter what anybody thinks or feels about it. I don't know if you are familiar with a phrase or statement like this, and if you have ever been guided by such principle. Secondly, people who refuse or find it difficult to change their minds, even when better knowledge is communicated, are usually people who are afraid of change. For people like this, it is, we have been doing it this way, and we are not going to change because this is the way we have been doing it. Okay, you have been doing it this way. Have you considered the other way? Maybe given the new developments and technological advancement, you could also consider do it this way. It is a better way to do it. No. We have been doing it this way. We are not going to change it. For example, maybe the priest is asking that we consider a change regarding our mass time, that we can move it from 10:30 maybe to 11 o'clock. No, please, Father Nathaniel, don't do it. It has been 10:30 since 1964 when the church was first opened. Okay, you have been doing it that way. Can we consider, because of new realities, and consider a possibility of adjusting the mass time to 11 o'clock? No. They are not even ready to listen to the new ideas or to see the reason why you're making the proposal. But because they are afraid of change, they wouldn't oblige you. Meanwhile, I am not considering changing the mass time. It has never crossed my mind. It is not on the table. As far as I'm concerned, 10:30 is perfectly okay while I'm here. So relax, okay? We are still where we are. So when Ahaz made the decision not to go into alliance, he believed that the only way out of a political situation has always been to go to war. that if a nation is threatened by another nation, that nation must go to war. That is the way it has been. So when God said to him, don't follow that path, let's consider another option. Leave it for me. And he said, no, this is the way we have been doing it. I won't change my mind because it has been the way we've been doing it. Now we are preparing for Christmas. It is 21st of December. So close. Plus 4 days. We get into Christmas celebration proper. But do you know that one of the reasons why Christmas became a reality was because one man decided to change his mind against a decision he has already made. The person of Joseph. When Joseph found out that Mary was with a child, he made a decision. He made up his mind to drive her away. That is exactly what we read in today's gospel. And it wouldn't be proper because it wasn't the intention of God that the Son of God should be born outside the family. But Joseph had taken a decision, has made up his mind. I'm not having this child with you. You are going away. Until God gave him another idea. Let's do it this way. Until he listened to the opinion of God, he changed his mind. And that is why we have Christmas. One of the reasons indeed why we have Christmas. So dear friends, in your decision-making process, especially making a life-changing decisions, how often do you seek for God's opinion? Unlike Ahaz, how often do we ask God to give us a sign, to reassure us that the choice we are making between A and B is indeed, we're going to make a correct one? How often do we ask him, at this time, I'm about making a choice of a life partner, a boyfriend, my relationship. How often do we ask him, I want to choose Mr. John. I want to choose Mary. Lord, what do you think about my choice? Is it okay? Show me a sign that I will make the best of the choices between the options I have. Give me a sign to reassure me that what I'm doing is still in line with your commandments. I am preparing to go for holidays and my destination is Nigeria. I'm about booking my flight. Lord, I want to communicate with you. I want to consult you. I hope going at this time is okay. Give me a sign if you think I am about making the wrong judgments. How often do we get God involved in our decision making? Are we afraid to listen to another voice, even when those ideas are better than what we have? Or sometimes do we think that revisiting or re-examining or reconsidering your decision already taken is a sign of weakness? It is not. Joseph made up his mind until God said, can we do it this way? And he said, okay. May we be inspired by the example of Joseph, who listened to the voice of God, who listened to the opinion from God. Unlike Ahaz, even when he was presented with all options and opinions, because he had made up his mind, he said, I wouldn't go for any review.